We are live. We're marking our.
There we go. Let's go. Hey, technology is great. Technology is great. God bless America. God bless Elon Musk. God bless our new YouTube channel. God bless you, Alan. You all right?
So yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, I got too many things going on. My ADHD is like, what the fuck?
I was like, are you okay? Did you see headlights? It's like, what's going on? Did a squirrel run by? Squirrel.
So here's the thing. For those of you that are on my Alan Roberts channel, we are going to be on. This is Evening Rants. I just posted in the comment section in the comment thread the link to go watch this on our Evening Rants YouTube channel. So please do go follow that. Like, go right there and follow the Evening Rants, and make sure you click the notification bell to live and everything like that, or to notify you of everything, of all of the lives, because Evening Rants is going to stay on YouTube as long as they'll allow us to stay. And I'm going to give it probably about another 4 or 5 minutes mark, and then I'll probably X off of the Alan Roberts channel, and we'll just go here. So how have you been doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm really optimistic, man. This Make America Healthy Again thing is catching on. I think RFK saying it on a national scale has brought more attention to it. Obviously, Luke Rudkowski has been on board the health train for a long time. Yep. His house is basically built as like a health mecca. He has vitamins like on display. He's got his cold plunge and his exercise equipment in the backyard, goes to the gym down the road all the time. Shout out to big Luke Rudkowski. Obviously, Tim Pool has been really on the health kick. He's been preaching the same thing we've been preaching, that you cannot truly be free unless you take control and ownership of your own health. That means get unfat. That means eat less ultra processed foods. And that means exercise. Get sunlight. Everything the government, dude, did you see that we brought up yesterday? And this just bugs me, that we have this big Make America Healthy Again. So the leftist media, those scumbags, literally did an article on how ultra processed foods aren't bad for you.
Yeah, it's been weird watching this stuff unfold, for especially for I think me and you, because I think, you know, you and I started talking about this 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, where I believe the first time I said that the chronic illness epidemic in America is going to cause a biblical wave of death and destruction, right? And it's very weird to me that the USDA, the FDA, the CDC still very much to a great degree push ultra processed foods. They push it as if, like, you know, they're being paid for it because they are being paid for it.
Well, I mean,
it's crazy.
Just to interject real quick, real quick, 75% of ad revenue to CNN and MSNBC comes from Big Pharma. And also, I'd imagine at least 10% of the rest comes from makers of ultra-processed foods. So it behooves them for their own survival. I'm not talking about some big government conspiracy to make us sick. I'm not going to talk about that. I've never said that. What I've said is that the slave is beholden to its master. He's been saying it. So I see it more as a fiscal thing. I see it more financial, and I give this story all the time. When I worked for Flex Magazine, this back in 2000 that this happened, I sold an ad for deer antler velvet into Flex Magazine. And we had this rule that if we have an advertiser, number one, this was wrong, but I don't know. You know, at the time, 20 years old, right? So we had a rule that if we advertise something, the editorial staff can't be honest about it. So they let one slip. So I sold this ad for deer antler velvet, which is bogus, by the way. Don't buy it. Yeah. And on the adjacent page right across from it, all pagination, which are the people who lay out the page, all they see is article on deer antler velvet and then ad for deer antler velvet. So Leslie Johnson, who was the pagination, she's like, oh, this looks like it'll work. Here's an article and here's an ad. The article was trashing deer antler velvet. Nonetheless, I had to refund their money for the ad. And we further doubled down. That's why you never saw anybody talk trash about muscle tech claims or anything, even though the editorial staff
Hmm.
believed and knew and spoke openly about their claims being absurd, we could not say anything because that is what paid our bills. Advertising at the magazines at the time were run on an 80-20 split, 80% advertising, 20% newsstand sales.
Wow.
I
And
digress.
so basically, and this, I think this is kind of how, that's a great microcosm for how it actually works for mainstream media and stuff like that, right? So
Yep.
me and you have talked about this before, where I believe mainstream media, like it is not that the ad revenue for that they receive from pharma is to sell the drugs, because you have to have a doctor prescription, all that stuff, right? I believe, and just like me and you have talked about before, that is a payoff. That is them being able to control the content based around those
Mm-hmm.
drugs. So they're basically in almost ownership, like, because people can say, well, they don't own the companies. If they're the 75% of the revenue, newsflash, they own those companies.
Yes.
They run them, you know. And I just think it's an amazing thing to see that RFK is bringing this to the forefront. I'm already seeing other shirts made up with "Make America Healthy Again," which is awesome.
Uh,
I've had people, I had bunches of people reach out and ask if we were going to sue them. I'm like, do you know how bad of a look that would be if we would sue these people over something that is like kind of a riff on what Trump says anyway? It would be horrible.
yeah, and we do have usage in garment. We did do it first, so we would have claim to that. No one had that
Right,
shirt before us in my because I
right.
looked it up when we did it. But it comes a point when it comes down to what matters most, the money or the message.
The
And I
message.
want as many people to print "Make America Healthy Again." I want people to tattoo it on their butt cheek. I want people to put it where the tramp stamp goes. I want people to tattoo it on their forehead
Dude,
backwards so you can see it in the mirror. I want to make America healthy, not even again. I want to make America healthier than it's ever been. I want to make America so healthy that we could have the most crazy virus hit and nobody will be affected because we are that damn healthy. That is what I want to see. I want to see an America where men have high testosterone, where women are fertile and active and healthy, and men and women are able to partake in their kids' lives and play with them and go on hikes and walks and coach their sports. I want to see an America where everybody can benefit from what it's like to be healthy and what it's like to be optimal and what it's like to be the best you. Whoa. Alan, your audio just went crazy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The government just hacked into Alan's microphone. Oh, wow. Yeah, the government just hacked into his microphone. This is what happens. You start talking about making America healthy again, and they hack into your microphone. But honestly, I'm just playing, guys. I don't think the
how about
government
now?
hacked into his microphone. Oh, that's
How about now?
perfect.
Okay.
All right, so right there, that was Big Pharma hacking into Alan's microphone. The PepsiCo and Doritos just went in and wiped us out. They're like, we got to silence these guys. We got to
Man,
silence them like they did during 2020.
there's been multiple times when I've been looking down the long dirt road for the homestead and been like, if I see any black SUVs, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Especially after the Pfizer whistleblower came on our
Oh my
show and showed those
god.
documents that Google shut her down. She got shut down by Google. I don't know if you guys on YouTube, you got to look at our old episodes on Rumble. So we had the Pfizer, look up Pfizer whistleblower and evening rants on Rumble. And so long story short, we had no idea this. I say, hey, can I share my screen? We're like, of course, like, and then she just drops these never before seen documents. And we just look, you could tell we looked at each other through the lens and both of us were like, I am not feeling suicidal today. I love my life. Um, I love my family. It was one of those moments. It was the first time ever. And I've said some off the wall ish on Timcast, on Luke's. But it was just Mark trash talking, some random steroid using crazy meathead talking BS. But it was the first time I seriously thought to myself, I think we crossed the line.
Yeah. I was definitely worried. Like, she's like, and here's some internal Pfizer documents that I took when I left. I'm like, oh fuck. Like, I felt like I peed a little bit, and then I tried to hide it. But hey, and I just want to tell everybody, by the way, if you're on the YouTube channel, okay, There's like 54 of you now. Thanks, YouTube. There's normally like 300. But if you're on the YouTube channel, I am going to post a link in the comments section right now. Go to that. Go watch this on that site and make sure you subscribe, like, share that one, because we have our evening rants YouTube, and I just wanted to let all of you know that I still will be live for my normal stuff today at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So please do watch out for that. But here is the link. And then and I know you guys are probably like, oh, Mark and Alan are letting it all loose. This is actually kind of tame. So I'm going to keep it off this YouTube channel for a little bit, and then we're just going to go with the Evening Rants one. So please go follow us on Evening Rants and check out the live right there. I cannot wait, and I hope to see all of you in just a couple minutes, but we are signing off the Alan Roberts YouTube channel right now.
So it's youtube.com/@Evening Rants. YouTube does not do URLs anymore, so it's @Evening Rants on YouTube. And I actually like that better. I think it's great because they're creating more of an ecosystem. I understand why they're doing it. So you have to go to YouTube and type in the @ sign and find a person. I think it's good business. I mean, same reason why you have a handle on, well, Twitter has URLs, but like, you get it. I get it. I'm not mad.
I get it.
It's just, you have to put the @ before the channel name. And if you go to our old, like youtube.com/Lowbliner TV, youtube.com/@Tiger Fitness, if you put the @ in front of anything you go to, any page, it's going to work. So the @ sign, just use that from now on at YouTube. Just get used to it. Make it standard. And the reason we went on YouTube is pretty simple. The same reason that Tim Pool and Luke Rudkowski is, because YouTube is the largest platform. So if we want to get these conversations out there, like the awesome conversation that was like 2 hours too soon before our YouTube was made to go live, where we had a great discussion with a guy who said that all Trump voters are racist. He said Trumpers. And at the end, he actually apologized for calling us Trumpers, because not all Trump voters are Trump fans.
Well, he apologized to you. I was a total dick, so I'm sure he wasn't apologizing to me.
I don't think you guys are going to be having any weekend barbecues anytime soon, but it was a great time. I think it was phenomenal. I was actually, this morning, I went on God's Comic, Brad Stein, Stine. I'll be on his podcast relatively soon. He lives in the area. He's great. He has a huge following on Facebook. Trying to beef him up a little on YouTube. He's a great guy. If you don't follow him, it was a banger of an interview. We talked about everything from international conflicts to training kids. It was great. I'll be on his. He'll come on here too, Alan. So we'll get him on. He's very smart. Very smart. He loves him some Jesus, and we like people who like Jesus too. I think we need more Jesus in America.
We do. I mean, I personally don't, but we do. We definitely need more. Like, we definitely need more Jesus. Hang on, I got tons of subscribers asking what's going on.
Hey, Alan. So Rebecca says, I don't know how Alan was so calm. Did you watch it? I guess she's used to the normal Alan. I guess calm Alan is everybody else's like friggin' panic attack.
Yeah, like that. I live in a steady state of like, I'm just pinned. Like, that's the thing. Like, people ask me all the time, you know, which one of your pre-workouts do I use? I'm like, man, I just use Vasky and Mental Jewels most of the time. And I'm like, it's non-stimulant. You know, like, no stimulants. I'm like, do I look like I have a problem with energy? Like, energy is not the problem. Focus is the problem. And then
I like to compound it there.
Well, that's another thing too. Right before we were talking, I was pounding a monster. So I was like amped up, and he said some shit that I thought was fuckhead. So I treated
but you did kind of, the vitamin A guy was, you were angrier with him, Rebecca says.
Yeah. Well, I'm angry with him because, like, dude, it's one thing for just a guy that came on, confronted Mark and said, hey, you guys are horrible people because you vote for this person. And then we went through the whole stuff where he didn't believe me about the spicy virus that we had in 2020. And I had to school him on that. And then there was also the thing that he insisted that I was a massive Trump fan. I wear all the gear and everything like that because I was stunned when he said it and I paused too long. And I just had, and to his credit, I shared a bunch of things afterwards that showed for years I've been very critical of Donald Trump. I'm very critical of all politicians. All of you should be extremely critical of all politicians. Every single one of them. You should be very, very, very critical because they lie. But the vitamin A guy,
they do.
he did, and don't get me wrong, Thor is his name, which I have a hard time believing he didn't give himself that name. But and if he didn't, hats off to Thor's parents, because goddamn, what a strong name. I wish I would have
So
been named
I
Thor when I
wanted
was
to
older.
name Preston. Preston was supposed to be Thor, but
Yeah.
Katie sucks. And Katie was like, "You can't name our kid Thor." I'm like, "He's the god of thunder, Katie. For God's sakes." And Preston will joke around over here and they're like, "I wish you guys named me Thor." Imagine you're playing football and we wouldn't use his last name. Imagine lined up across from you at nose guard and you're the center. He turns around and you see Thor written on the back. You know you're about to get hit with a bolt because the god of thunder is the only one who could lift the hammer. And I'm just not Fat Thor. Like they remember when they made, and remember he dropped out from the movies. Whoever plays Thor, what's his name? I can't think of his name. But so they made him the last. Yeah, dude, they made him fat in the last event. I was so mad at that. And I thought for sure he'd like lean out by the end and do some epic stuff. Instead, they had Fat Thor trying to be Thor. It was terrible. It was a disgrace to the Avengers. It made me so mad. They're ruining all my stuff. They're ruining all my stuff with this fat acceptance, all this DEI crap. Dude, Little Mermaid, I don't care if she's black or white. I don't care. It's fictional anyway. However, when you take every bodybuilder, every fitness enthusiast has looked up to an Avenger and wanted me, I was Captain America. And they turned him beta and it just killed every 40-year-old man's freaking childhood hero.
Yeah. It was
unreal.
Bad.
It was so
very,
bad.
Very, very bad.
Very bad. It pissed me off.
Well, you wonder why. Like they couldn't possibly think that this was going to be a positive thing. Like they couldn't possibly think that it was going to go well for them, and people were just going to accept it. But who knows? Maybe they actually did think it was going to, and they're just shocked by it. But it just falls into: is our culture crafted or is it developed? Like, do we develop culture, or are they trying to craft it? Like through movies and through laws and stuff like that. And I agree with you. I think it's both,
I think that there's a counterculture. So for every culture, there's a counterculture, like punk rock, right? Before they all became pro-vax, right? Remember that? Rage Against the Machine totally became the Machine. It was like Rage in support of the Machine. Like I've lost all respect for those guys. And who was the ones? Foo Fighters? They were requiring vax cards at their concerts, and then they got mad at Trump for literally legally using his song. You guys don't understand how music. Like we could get licensed right now for anything on this show. We just have to pay for it. Right. I mean, it's not like every time. It's not like every time something happens, you play a song that you like, you really think every time you hear a song at a venue that the person who's doing the event is like, yeah, Mr. Foo Fighters. Yeah, I would like to use your song. No, that's the whole point of having these whole royalty companies because they handle it for them. So Trump's like, oh, RFK wants this song. And then they're like, cool. How much? $100. Cool. Here's $100. Cool. Use the song. That's how it works. I've done events before. You just call the licensing organization and they give it to you. So the Foo Fighters probably didn't even know. Of course they didn't know because that thing's played at how many songs are played at venues that are on TV and they have to get a license? A lot. So do you think that like Bruce Springsteen is picking up his phone like, oh, Jimmy wants to play this song at his bar mitzvah. Oh yeah, Jimmy, you have permission. It's $50.
It's very weird. It's like Eminem didn't want fans that voted for Trump, and of course now, and I'm loving this, by the way. Now we're seeing a lot of them shift back because it's all of a sudden they made it to the point in like 2020. They made it if like you were a Trump voter, you needed rehabilitation. Remember that they were saying shit like that? They're like, how do we rehabilitate these people? Like rehabilitate? Like who the fuck? Like it's like these elitists sat on this like throne and were like, they have wrong think. We need to fix them, And I just find that to be, very, very, very messed up. They're acting like they were.
Well, here's the thing.
With it all along now.
Well, so Trump is the new punk rock.
Yeah,
It's the new anti-establishment punk rock, especially now that he has the what is it, the Justice League with RFK and with Tulsi. Like now we have which is corny, but I like it. And I like the fact that the two most prominent Democrats to come over make sense because they're also the two who are in fantastic shape. Tulsi we already played her video on this show of her training. Tulsi's a monster. Like she is a beast. And this is not a young woman. She's not in her 30s. Like this woman's rocking, I think it's 40s. Like she's just crushing it. And then you have RFK who's 70 and still works out in jeans, topless with no shoes, no shirt on the beach and is incline bench pressing. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. That's my party. I'm sorry. I'll vote for them just for that. I'm sorry. I'm petty like that.
And somebody said Rebecca said Tulsi's 43.
So that means she's my age. That means that there's a chance. Do you think Tulsi would go for me, Alan? Maybe not tall enough.
Maybe go get a restraining order because you talk about
Oh, she's got to get in line with Carrie Underwood. Who else do I say weird stuff about? Carrie Underwood, Tulsi. There's a few others. Scarlett Johansson's a Democrat. I'll still get a restraining order put on me from her. I mean, her butt in the original Avengers was legendary. I saw that shit in 3D. It was like her ass was the entire screen. Hey guys, I am very toxically masculine. Yeah. I'm not afraid to say that women are attractive. Because they are.
That I found weird was Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like somebody just said MTG. No, he didn't say that, but people accused him of sleeping with Marjorie Taylor Greene anyway.
I was like, I can neither confirm nor deny. Now they didn't ask, did I? But if they asked, assuming I'm not, again, I'm married, assuming I'm not married, like this is in a fantasy world, obviously. Would I? The answer is clearly yes, guys. 100% yes. So they're like, so Marjorie just simply pointed out that she wants America to be healthy. I made some spicy tweet and she retweeted me. And apparently she was allegedly, like she's divorced, I guess. She was allegedly sleeping around or whatever. And I don't know. I didn't look into it. And then everybody's like, oh, this is the guy. And I'm like, instead of like being like, never, I'm like, I can neither confirm nor deny this allegation. Hey, man.
That's funny.
I've been accused of much worse. Yeah. Much worse. Oh, Laura Oh, now we're going in. Oh, I see where this podcast, we're not even getting to the topic. Oh, Lauren Boebert is definitely a wood. Is that a wood for you in a fantasy world, Alan?
There's no fantasy world that doesn't involve my wife. I'd be dead.
Oh, come on. Live a little.
You did not know me before my wife. Trust me, I would not have made it. So
I was like 12 before I met my wife.
I would not have made. I was at a very serious point in my life where it's like I had hermited up in my house with just me and the dog, and I'd given up on everybody until she came in and say like I would not have made it. So there's no 50-year-old Alan Roberts in any other universe besides the one that she's in.
So sure. I had a Dem acquaintance call from Rebecca, call MTG a slut who slept with everyone at her gym, but he had nothing. So he's a she actually. He has voting patterns of a woman actually. He had nothing to say when I brought up Kamala's background. So question, Rebecca, would you with MTG? Would? And can I film? Anyway, hey, so speaking of the Justice League, you know where we need the Avengers to show up, Alan?
I bet you, I would imagine Colorado at this point in time.
I think we need to call the Justice League to Aurora, Colorado. So let's pull up this report from Channel 2 News.
And really a lot of the debate has been, is this the fault of the apartment management company or is this the work of Venezuelan gangs? New information this.
Okay, no offense, big head dude. How the hell would it be the apartment manager's fault? Like, I got to see where he goes with this. Like, what is he supposed to go in and fight armed Venezuelan migrants? Okay, let's
Wick or something like that as the hotel manager.
Well, apartment manager. And they apparently kicked out citizens to house these fine Venezuelan uncitizens.
Aurora police teaming up with the CBI.
What the frick is going on here?
and the Colorado State Patrol to better address concerns about the violence.
Hurry, they're attacking the white women. Sorry, I shouldn't make light of this.
No, but
Those women were, dude, do you see how fast they moved? They're in good shape.
Yeah. And they got
That's why you need to stay in shape. In case armed Venezuelan migrants try to break open your apartment building. I will say her desk resembles mine. A lot of messiness, a little bit of Jesus going on. I don't have Jesus on my desk. But maybe that, I don't know, maybe Jesus should help out here. Come on, Jesus.
Yeah, let's go.
Violent Venezuelan gangs. Investigators believe some members are from Venezuela, gangs responsible for this jewelry store.
Oh, so not all of them, just 9 out of 10. The other one is like a guy who's Venezuelan who lives in Colorado.
It's crazy to me how it's crazy how the media will bend over backwards to try not to say that these illegal fucking thugs that should have been never let into our country are terrorizing citizens. They're terrorizing citizens. They are terrorists. This is terrorism. What we're seeing right here. This is terrorism.
So for those of you who watched yesterday, I would just like to point out how the attractive ladies from the Texas news station did a much better job than this dork.
Yes.
So I would like to petition everybody here. I would like to plea that we all make a movement for based hot women to only be hired. But I want DEI for based hot women. I don't care what color they are. I don't discriminate. I just want based hot women. Is that too much to ask? Look at this guy. I mean he did fold his handkerchief nice.
It is definitely a minority group.
Yes. There's not many based hot women. But there's no non-based. Well, I mean, there are fake Democrat hot women. I don't think they're actually Democrats. I think they're just trying to move ahead. That's from what Matt Marsden and all those guys said to us. And Gabriel, none of those women believe what they say. They just don't want to lose their jobs.
Right.
Which is weak as fuck.
Yep,
Heist. We brought to you, this happened in Denver earlier in summer. All three agencies now creating a task force which will allow them to maximize resources and share intelligence.
I can save a lot of money. When you get them, you deport them.
Yeah.
That's a pretty easy. We don't need a task force. We just need to say, hey, police officers, if you catch them, hand them off to ICE and boot their asses over the border. It seems simple. It seems like an easy solution. Deportation. And I'm not talking due process. They don't get court dates. Where are your papers? Oh, no havo papers. It's like, okay, no havo papel. Okay, you're going back to Venezuela, bro. Sorry. Oh no, we're going to put you in Mexico. Figure it out from there. Figure it out. Go to TJ. You can't mess TJ up more than it already is. Go run some donkey shows. Do whatever you got to do.
About the ongoing investigations. Mayor Mike Coffman saying, and they've been talking about it for a while now, one of their initial goals is to engage and learn.
Holy shit. Look at that guy. He's strapped. Wow.
From the migrant community.
What do we need to learn
aggressively, you know.
Hey, you get what you vote for. I kind of want to see this happen in Colorado right now. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't like it, but like, if it's someone tweeted, I didn't save it, that this shit would never happen in Nashville. No, no, it wouldn't. It might happen in the city of Nashville for a couple hours, but then the governor would be like, all right, state troopers, you're taking over Metro. You have jurisdiction here. Go kick some ass. Just like you did with the encampments, just like you did at Vanderbilt when they tried to build a Palestine encampment there. Go fuck these people up.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing.
Having a presence in these pockets where there's concentrations of Venezuelan migrants, to be able to try to ourselves, or at least our law enforcement personnel at the local, state, and federal levels to identify who these bad actors are and get them off the street.
How about all of them?
All of them.
Not even bad actors. Just sorry, you guys had your chance. Now now the team. So in football,
they're all bad actors. They're here illegally. They're all bad actors.
If we're doing drills and we go on 2 in practice in football, and someone jumps off sides or does a false start, everybody does push-ups. We should do that here. Oh, someone committed a crime. Everybody's deported. Get out. Blow the whistle. You're out. Jesus Christ.
I don't
Kaufman also
understand.
saying he can't share too much about what the task force is going to be doing. He didn't want to
How about deport them? That's all you
Yeah.
need to share, you dumbass Democrat.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
compromise the investigation. He believes allocating resources is necessary and wants people to know he and police are taking it seriously.
Oh, your
Oh.
entire city is the laughing stock of the country. And you just want us to know that everyone's taking it seriously.
So
Like,
my thought
what-
my thought process is for this gang to be so emboldened, they're running deep too. You know what
What's
I mean?
going
Like,
on here?
Police officers arrived.
Oh, let me bring up this one. Oh, what? Oh, there it is. There it is.
Police officers arrived to the scene here at this apartment complex just before 7 a.m., carrying out evictions. And now dozens of tenants who used to live here are now looking for a place to stay. You can see just the red and blue X that are on these apartment doors. And that's just a signal that this place has been, that they have already carried out the evictions, that this place has been vacated. And now the cleanup begins here. Now we watched as code enforcement and police officers went door to door to make sure that each of the apartment was cleared out. Piles of trash, they're being cleared out in the parking lot. We showed you that a little bit earlier, but the city of Aurora, they're also paying for this trash to be picked up.
So right now it's just kind of a waiting game for a lot of these tenants. They tell us they're not really sure what's going on, but they're upset at how the situation is being handled. You can see there's a lot of activity going on, a lot of children. Police are just here in the area. They just got here not that long ago, but it's unclear how they'll be moving people out, how they'll be taking them to the hotels.
So they're putting them in hotels paid for by the citizens. That's awesome. I love it. How about they take them to the border?
so they trash an entire
this is a
fucking place.
slumlord
and then-
issue. No. It doesn't matter what issue you want to say. Venezuelan prison gangs took over a 99 apartment unit complex. And then instead of sending the money to the landlord, they were collecting the rent. And then it comes out that the city council actually says, well, that's not the only apartment complex. There are several that they have taken over in Aurora, and now they run it all. Now, and you're
Wow.
having broad daylight
Mm.
armed robberies of jewelry stores in Aurora and outside of Denver. Look, Denver's collapsing. Denver has 700,000 people live inside Denver metro area. 70,000 of that 700,000 are illegal aliens. You
Wow.
think they're going to
Wow.
stay in? No, they're going to bleed out. They're bleeding out to Aurora right now. Where else are they going to go in the metro area? Oh,
That's
This is
fantastic.
a slumlord issue.
Yeah.
So if you guys want that for America, go ahead and vote for Kamala because she supports this.
It's so fucked up, dude. How are we here? Like,
I can
first of
tell
all, the change of the terminology to migrant, they're illegal invaders. There's a these guys are from they are admitting it's from a Venezuelan gang. The Venezuelan gang was kicked out of Venezuela, said we will kill you if you come back. Go ahead and go to America, and sent them here. And then we're supposed to treat them like with open arms and shit like that. Close the fucking border. Deport 100% of these fucking people. If you are in the country without an active visa or green card, get the fuck out. Holy
Yep.
shit.
It's absurd how they even changed to undocumented migrants. No, they're illegal. They're illegal immigrants. Their name implies in and of itself that they're breaking the law. That's why they changed the name.
Yep.
Because of the connotation that they're breaking the law, but they are breaking the law. Look, man, I want so much immigration. I want the best and the brightest from around the world, but you have to get in line. You have to go through the steps. You have to prove that you will aid in making our society great. That's what every other country does. Well, they did. Sweden, you see what's happening there. Rapes are through the roof.
Yep.
I saw a video today of just some crazy shit happening in Ireland. Conor McGregor spoke out against it. That's how crazy it is. But the minute you talk about it, like, hey, these guys are committing crime, racist, it's like, no, it's literally, you could see in the statistics that they are committing a lot of crimes. And like Trump said, they're not, Venezuela is sending their prisoners to us. These are not good people. It is unreal. It is unreal. It is What has happened to this country, man?
Somebody said
What is
George Carlin talked about soft language. That's where we're at. Like when people
Yeah.
always say like I could say say stuff nicer. I'm always like I could, but it would not have the same impact because now we're talking about what I said. You know, just because I hurt your feelings doesn't mean it's not valid. If I can say something that rings so true to you that is valid that it hurts your feelings, then it's still true, and the problem is on your end. You know, like if you're an illegal immigrant, you're here illegally. I don't believe you should be here. You definitely shouldn't be receiving any taxpayer money. I don't understand whoever signed that, whoever decided that they should get money from us, they should be awaiting their treason execution, basically. You know what I mean? Like,
elected Democrats. That's who's getting it. And we keep electing them. In the last primary, only 30% of Republicans voted. AOC got 38,000 votes, and in their district, there's 150,000 conservatives. So the reason this is happening, I'm not going to blame the Democrats because that's a religion, that's a cult. What I'm blaming are lazy, complaining conservatives who don't get out and vote. If we voted, it would be beyond the margin of cheating. If we all voted, it would be beyond the margin of cheating. Yet we're too busy virtue signaling and looking for a spicy tweet that no one is actually doing the job. And your job is the most important job you have in this country. Your job is to vote. Vote
Yes.
hard. Bring your friends with you. Vote as hard as you can.
Yep. And I mean, vote and vote however you want. Like, just please, like, I would love if people were actually educated on it. Some of these videos where like the person on the street is asking them like why they're voting for Trump or why they're voting for Kamala. And a lot of these people have no fucking idea. Like, they just have literally no idea. But I posted a video
It's a
earlier
religion.
today. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a religion. Here's to show you how big of a religion this is. Right now, mainstream media and the Democrats are wording things as if Trump destroyed everything and they're the ones that need to fix it. Like Kamala is actually campaigning as if Trump is the incumbent and on day one, she's going to fix shit, right? So I made a video earlier on today, and it is literally, if you think about it, 40 of the last 44 years have been run by Bushes, Clintons, and Obamas. And that includes Biden, because Biden, it's pretty well, I personally completely believe that Obama is still running the show. It's just, using Biden as a puppet, right?
Well, if he's not running it, who is? Who is running it? Who is running this country? This is our president. Now, I know you're like me. You bring your work on vacation.
Yeah.
I worked 4 to 6 hours a day, even on weekends when my family and I went and hiked the Northeast. I just woke up before everybody else and went to bed after everybody else. Biden is running the most powerful nation in the world, allegedly. And he's just out here chilling on the beach. He's not, he doesn't have a laptop. He doesn't have a laptop. He's not on the phone. He should be talking to world leaders. World War III is about to pop off. He should be talking to Taiwan. He should be talking to China. He should be talking to Russia. He should be talking to Ukraine. This is a guy who, I mean, this is our leader right here. This is it. This is our country.
If that's Biden, how are these people just strolling past him?
So Secret Service would be around him, but I don't think they quarantine the whole area. And these people are probably cleared before going in. It's obviously him. People are like, "Oh, we love you, Joe." It's absurd. Like this is absolutely nuts. I mean, they're obviously screening people. Like Secret Service is on their job.
Do you know how many vacation days the president should get?
Zero.
Fucking
You're the
zero.
president. You're the president. And we really...
I didn't throw that job at you. You fucking campaigned for it. You should do it every single fucking day you're president.
Trump did. Trump would golf. They're like, Trump's golfing. I'm like, he doesn't get a couple hours a day. But like, I want the president to have 2 or 3 hours for mental and physical fitness. Like that's his exercise. Like Trump golfs. It was like, Trump's out of shape. I'm like, have you ever, oh shoot, I look great. Have you ever tried golfing 18 holes? It's hard, even if you have a cart. That's a lot of work. So I'm like, okay, He's swinging a club probably 40 times, not including warm-ups. He's walking from the cart to the hole, which cart you don't pull right up to the ball, probably getting 7,000 steps. That's exercise. If the president can't take 2 hours a day, like George, so to his credit, George W. Bush used to weight train 3 days a week. I wanted to hear that. And he weight trained for about an hour 30 minutes. I want the president to have the best trainer in the world. I want to be the president's trainer. Like that's who I want. And I'm the best in the world, in my opinion.
Yes.
I would be able to make the president jacked. So I'm like, I want the president to be mentally and physically fit, and vacationing every day and not working any day. I mean, that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem because he's not. Yeah.
There's not business meetings happening on the beach, but tons of business meetings happen on the golf course. Like the golf course is like kind of an office for, you know, I'm sure, like I imagine Trump would be with his advisors, one, and two, how many times has he gone golfing with, like, you know, somebody of importance for the job? Often, you know?
Every time. Every time. And the thing is, like, every business conference I go to, for example, the one I'm going to next week, that's literally the first day is always a golf tournament. And it's to get to know people. They usually pair you up with vendors or whatever, and you go and you talk and you golf, and it's casual. Trump's not just golfing. He's having business meetings on the course. Right. You could tell he's always surrounded. And it's like, hey, I met with this guy. I golfed with this guy. Like, he's not just like golfing. Now, I do believe we need a president. I think RFK would have been a great example of someone who'd, you know, he'd get in the White House gym probably 5-6 days a week. That would be awesome. But a president who actually gets out, and that's the reason Trump's so, like, he doesn't even exercise. He does. What do you think golfing is? Like, he's not drinking beer. He's out there drinking a Diet Coke. He's out there hitting the ball. He's walking around, being healthy, being limber. Biden literally lied even about his golf game.
Yeah. That was funny.
Golf's 6.
Trump in the debate, that's the biggest lie he's ever told that you're about his golf game. That was hilarious. I mean,
and Trump was like, no, you didn't. He was like, I golfed a 6. Golf's like, no, you didn't. Just like that. He's like, no, you didn't. And he's like, golf. He's like, let's go. I'll take you on right now. And it was petty, but it showed a lot. It showed that Biden will lie about anything, even the most unbelievable shit. Golfing? Really? That's your lie? If I was Biden, I'd be like, yeah, I don't golf, but I'll kill your ass at ping pong. Right? Like, I'd say something. I mean, I think Obama played basketball. Like, Obama can ball. So even though I'm not a big Obama fan, I like seeing that. So Trump golfing for me is a plus. That is a mega plus on my book. I know people joke about it, but it's like, again, he's moving, he's getting sunlight, he's being limber, and he's not just golfing, he's golfing in the middle of the day in Florida. It's like 190 degrees.
Yes, at least.
Oh, so here's a guy from Denver. I think it's a guy. I live in Denver. The gangs are the only thing anyone is talking about, and everyone is pissed. Well, you guys kind of voted yourself into this situation. So, I mean, there's only one way out, one reasonable way out, and that's to vote. And unfortunately, you guys just don't vote. I guarantee you, if I brought up a voting map of Denver, if you guys would have just went out and vote, you would have killed the Democrats. Figured it, not literally speaking, but killed them as far as the election goes.
Right.
Yeah, you vote Republican, but your friends don't, bro. They just don't. They don't vote at all.
Dude, we're not knocking on you. We're just saying, like, in your general area, you guys voted for this shit. You know?
And generally speaking, if you're here and you're chatting with us, you're probably a Republican voter. We kind of know our base by now. Yeah. And for people who aren't Trumpers, because here's the thing, Democrats, it doesn't matter if they believe in it. One day it's the climate. One day it's Palestine. One day it's this. Whatever the mainstream media and their leaders and their rulers and their puppet masters tell them to do, Democrats are lockstep with it. Republicans actually question shit. Republicans will be like, why? Why? And that's why Republicans lose, because we're not a cult. We're not a religion. And I say we because I'm voting Democrat, but I'm voting Republican. I would never vote Democrat. And Democrats vote blue no matter who, and they'll support the issues with violence no matter who. We saw that with BLM. White people were literally out there protesting or being violent and protesting to take things away from themselves. It was the most absurd thing I've ever seen.
It really was. It was crazy.
It was so dumb. It was peak fucking stupid. It was just so stupid. So stupid. I still can't get over that. Man.
I honestly, like, he's saying that Dem voters might be regretting their decision. I really hope so. Like,
I don't think they are.
Because my thing is, people need to wake up and admit they were, like, a huge portion of this is nobody wants to admit they were wrong. Like, it's the same thing about the spicy virus from a couple years ago. Nobody wants to admit they were wrong, but you were all wrong. Like, if you were terrified of it, you were wrong. If you wore a mask, you were wrong. If you got an experimental therapy from historically corrupt companies, from a historically corrupt industry that had complete liability protection, you were wrong. You know, like, and I mean wrong, it doesn't matter who. Like, the data's coming out now that it helped nobody, that it's way more of a detriment. And I just think that, like, people won't admit that. It's the same thing, like, people will not admit that putting their child when they were 10 years old on beta blockers because one day they thought that they were a girl when they were a boy. They're not beta blockers, but puberty blockers. Beta blockers are just about the same thing as puberty blockers, by the way, for young kids. But for real. But like, nobody, they're not going to admit that, because if they admitted it, they'd have to admit that how they've acted about it was not justified. So now a person has to be like, well, I was wrong about giving my child this thing that fucked up their endocrine system forever. They're not going to admit they were wrong, because now they have to admit that they did that to their child. They're not going to admit that they were wrong about saying that unvaccinated people shouldn't be allowed outside or even buy food, because then they'd have to admit that they were wrong about it, like that they were that vile and that much of, you know, a basically, you know, fascist to fucking do it. You know, they're just not going to admit they were wrong. We need people to start there. Shit, Trump said he was wrong the other day.
He did. Do you have that clip? We got to find that. I think Trump's come along, and I think so what we found out from RFK's speech is this didn't just happen one day. RFK woke up and he's like, you know what? I'm going to support Trump. He's been meeting with him like more than weekly for the last few months. Like, Trump won him over. So RFK, like, I was explaining to Brad Stein today. I'm like, look, I think RFK is a good guy. He's like, he was so nice. He's like, every politician's nice to your face. I met Mitt Romney in person and he was really nice, but obviously we know what Mitt Romney's about, right? And I'm like, yeah, but RFK bench presses, shirtless, shoeless, with jeans on the beach. That's enough for me. No, RFK, you could, look, man, like, you could tell when someone's politicking. And the thing is, if RFK was just pretending, he wouldn't be pretending with the shit he's saying. Like, he got kicked out of the party that his dad and JFK are literally the stewards of. They are literally the Democrat. If you thought Democrat, I'm thinking JFK. Because he was the most base Democrat. He was the guy, good looking. He was like, remember that he had one great press conference. You know what? There's nothing worse than seeing a fat, sloppy kid or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, JFK was literally us in office, like, except he was banging Marilyn Monroe. And also, like, his choice of side chicks. Bravo, my friend. Compare that to Bill Clinton. We've gone downhill. And then, you know, Trump brought it back with some playmates and some porn stars. Good for him. But if we're going to look, man, the president's going to have a side chick. I'm not going to, Biden, obviously there's not enough Viagra in the world for that to happen, but the president will have a side chick. It's just part of the job. It comes with the contract. It's actually written in the Constitution. Did you read that part? It's Amendment 17. And so if the president is going to have a side chick, I want the side chick to be at least an 8. And Bill Clinton brought it down to like a 4, like after a couple beers. And, you know, Trump, I mean, with the playmate, he brought it up to a solid 7.5. Now, what I want Trump to do is work harder at getting a side chick who's in the 8s. Like, that's the only thing I ask of Trump. When you do get your side chick, I want her to be a solid 8.5.
Fucking crazy motherfucker. I love you. Give me. I found the clip
of Clinton's side chick, or of Trump's side chick.
No.
Oh, I haven't even heard this, dude. I just read it.
I didn't really know anybody in Washington. I was a New York person. I wasn't like a Washington, D.C. person. And all of a sudden I'm president and I'm driving down Pennsylvania Avenue with more police and motorcycles and military than I've ever seen before in my life. I said to my wife, do you believe this? I'm president. But I didn't know anybody in Washington. And I had to rely on people to give me names. And many were really good. I mean, Bob Lighthizer, I had great trade people. I had some great people. But I also picked people that, in retrospect, I wouldn't have picked. But now I know the smart ones, the dumb ones, the weak ones, the solid ones, the ones like you. I know the people. I know everybody, sort of like everybody. And we're going to have a great government. I didn't know. I had to rely on people to, I'd ask, I don't want to use names because I don't want to embarrass. They're not bad people, but I'd ask people that were rhinos, who do you recommend for such and such a position? All important positions. And they'd recommend some people that were rhinos or something, or weak or not good. And I don't have to ask too much right now. I know the people, and I've known them through fighting and wars. I've known them through, because all this stuff. I had great support. Don't forget, I beat Nancy Pelosi. I beat all these people, every one of them. And somebody said, you know, if you look at it, he beat the Clinton family, right? And that was really Obama too, because he was behind her 100% like he was running. And I beat the Bush family. I beat everybody. Now I beat Biden. I got him out.
I'm amazing.
I beat him twice, actually. I beat him the first time, but now I beat him a second time because it was the debate that got him out. And now I have to beat somebody that nobody ever heard of, who's a Marxist. And I think I'll be able to do that. But I know the people now. I've been in government now for 8 years. I was in government for no years. I mean, I became president and I said, I've never done this before. It's pretty, you know, sort of a miracle. You know, in the history.
What I've done is amazing.
I love it. Hey, so
me too.
just in case you're wondering, I think this is very pertinent to this discussion. This is a solid 8 side chick. That is a solid 8 right there. Like that, I would not kick her out of bed for eating crackers. Like that is a solid 8. Bruv, look at the boobs. Look at how nice those fake titties are. Look at this. Let's go, Trump. Whatever, Melania. Who cares? Yeah, dude, straight up, Trump. How can anyone be mad at that? It's like if you're the most powerful man in the world and you're going to choose to go that route, you got to at least make a choice that people be like, it's wrong, but I understand.
Right. I you know,
solid 8.
Most powerful man
Solid.
in the world. Like my thing about it is like, you know, would it help his focus or not? You know, like, because if it helps his focus, like we need to start lining people up. You know. Like,
Well, we need that post-nut clarity, bro.
Yeah, post-nut clarity. That's right.
He'd have it all
right.
day long with her. I mean, geez, yeah. I mean, that's solid 8, way better than the porn star. Porn star, she's just been run through. So speaking of like weird stuff, I wanted to talk about, so I love the Libertarian Party, the Mises Caucus, but the Libertarian Party in general, I don't know if they'll ever win. And here's why. And they might win locally. We have the weirdest looking people I've ever seen in my life. So I follow obviously Mises Caucus to the day I die. I love them. I think it's basically Republicans with common sense. We don't believe in open borders. We believe in term limits on abortions. Other libertarians are like, stab them on the way out. Let everybody over the border. Who are you to tell me who I can and cannot hire? Shut up. We need some form of like order. So I'm looking through the Libertarian page, and like, if you're going to have a candidacy picture, this is your best picture, because Libertarian Party, it's their official page, which is sad because there's only 157,000 followers. I almost have more on my personal page. So going in perspective, like I understand, but like, I mean, a fat guy on food. I'm sure we do. Dude, there's got to be at least one professional photographer in the Libertarian Party. Find that person and have them take proper pictures of the candidate. Like, I'm not making fun of her appearance. What I'm making fun of is the lack of professionalism. What the fuck is this?
Sloppy,
like
fucking,
he's got the neck beard. He looked like he's sloppy. He's fat. Like, and look at the comments. I'm guessing these are largely libertarians. Love these comments. Showed how judgmental us libertarians are. We should be judgmental. This is our official page.
Yeah, you should be very judgmental because this is who represents you, and that's the sad
Average
part about this.
Reddit moderator not voting for a neck beard. Sorry, bro needs to run for the chair. Fat guy on food is killing it here. Just think, someone sat down and was like, this picture looks great to put out on the public, get them to vote for him. I mean, what the fuck are we doing, guys? What is this,
Dude,
libertarians?
You know that motherfucker owns a white van. You just know he fucking does.
I mean, what is and this is like they're obviously propping up candidates. See, this guy is fine. Like he has a little bit of a lazy eye, but this is a good picture. American flag. That's as good as he's ever going to look. I'm not going to hate on him because he actually tried. Like he's just not an attractive man, right? Like that's fine. I'm not the most attractive man. I get it. This guy, that's a fine picture, solid background. But guys, libertarians, guys, please, like this guy looks fine. Look at that. Yeah. I'm good with this. This is a good picture. He's got the libertarian laid back. It's Montana, so you're going to wear that tribal shit, right? Yeah. Love it. That's a good picture. But guys, what the actual fuck? This is a selfie from her fucking iPhone. Like, if I'm going to put a picture out as a libertarian, like this, fine. Like, obviously, again, older guy, hair's combed, fucking suit's right. He's shaven. Perfect. I'm not making fun of appearances, but you're wearing a fucking hat and a picture of, I'm guessing that's yourself.
Dude,
what the fuck?
He's trying to make a skin out of human, or a dress out of human skin. I swear.
I'm just
creepy.
Look, man, I'm going to help the Libertarian Party, right? But we need to kick out these non-Mises Caucus guys. Like, we need to just fucking kick them out. Mises Caucus took him over, and then we got the fucking the fucking gay guy who wants to mutilate children now as our presidential candidate. So we went from Gary Johnson to Joe Jorgensen. You didn't think it was better. Now we have this Chase guy, forgot his last name, and he's like the worst. Like, you can't get much worse. And people are like, oh, what do you disagree with? I mean, he was pro-vaccine mandate. He was like, well, it's the private. He was like, well, it's the private company's business. I'm like, no, that one we do need intervention because that's a constitutional issue.
Yes.
I'm like, so
and my argument by all those, like, it's like they're publicly traded private companies. How the fuck does that work? Like, if you're publicly traded on the stock market for the United States, you should be held accountable for all of your employees and all your customers. For you to stick to the Constitution, it's a private company, therefore I can shit on the person's rights. Fuck that! It's still America. I'm so sick of hearing that. That's the whole Mitt Romney that corporations are people too. Shut the fuck up! Like I sick of that shit.
So I think it should be illegal for a business. And again, I'm kind of mixed on this because I think you own the business, do what you want. Yeah. I don't think it's cool for businesses to put Black people aren't allowed to be served here. I don't like it. I think we should have laws. Likewise, I don't think people without experimental technology within their body should not be served here. It's the same thing as discrimination. We can't have that. Right. And so again, like Tim Pool, he thinks obviously he platforms Clint a lot. Clint's on there a lot, and he platforms a lot of libertarians. His thinking's libertarian, but the Libertarian Party is a joke right now. And I'm saying that as someone who would love to fix it and make it a viable party. And I'm talking to these guys every day. I find time. I actually owe someone a call today from the party in that we got to do something. And it's all about appearance. So if you have a political party Instagram. Like you look, even Kamala's, it's all so perfect. It paints her in the perfect light. We have some bitch with weird makeup taking a fucking iPhone selfie looking gothic. And some fat dude. And look, man, I didn't know how my beard was going to come out, right?
Right.
And I knew there was a chance it could come out like that fat dude's. It could come out all puby, right? Like puby and unkept. Like, that's when you just know that you're not meant to have a beard.
Right.
So, but luckily it's clean as fuck.
Yeah,
so
looking clean.
I get it done weekly. It's a very, very arduous process. So all I'm asking is to stop looking like child molesters, libertarians, for fuck's sakes. That guy can't walk. That guy's morbidly obese. We're the party of independence and personal responsibility. There should be not BMI. There should be some kind of a fat percentage. You can't be over to run as libertarian because you are doing a disservice to personal liberty, personal responsibility.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, it's how they take care of themselves too, or how are they going to take care of the country? That's like the fat fuck from Illinois. What's his name? Pritzker?
Oh God, Pritzker.
Like, how the fuck? How is he dictating public health policy? You know, it's insane. You know,
look at the person in charge of public health for the nation right now.
Very good.
A fat dude who thinks he's a woman.
Yes, it's crazy.
Mentally and physically disabled.
And of course, just what we talked about earlier, that leads that the USDA and the FDA try to say that ultra processed foods are good for you. You know, because
it's just absurd. I give up. I mean, I don't give up, but.
But the whole like when you take a step back and you look at the entirety of it, like, and I think that's one of the reasons why you and I understand each other really well is because like with ADHD, if you're if you really are interested in a topic, it all fits together, right? So
yes,
you look at it and I'm like, and I just reposted a video from last year because I saw Ajax and Petey talking about it, like they want you fat, sick, and weak, right? And I was like, absolutely, because 90% of all type 2 diabetes is avoidable, 80 to 90% of all cardiovascular disease avoidable.
Yeah.
70% of all cases of strokes, cancers, that sort of thing. And I reposted the video, and the video is of me saying they have no financial incentive to get you healthy. It's so strange how when you take a step back and look, like they have not tried to get us healthy in forever because their conversation was name the last time they cured something, you know, because they don't. They don't cure anything. And the fucked up thing is 90% of what's bothering or what's the problem with America right now is that it doesn't need a cure. It just needs to be prevented. And it's actually rather easy to prevent this shit. Yes, exactly.
A lot of it's, look, man, I just talked about, again, like another thing I'm rehashing from my conversation with Stein today. It's shit, ADHD. No, is that, look, we're all going to die. And you have a lot of runners who are very healthy, who have congenital heart. We can't prevent our body just saying, hey, it's our time to die. Our job is to, as humans, to optimize the life we have, which being healthy, fit, and in mental and physical shape will make you have a better life. And also, someone who died of a congenital defect at 30, and let's say who died at 38 and was unhealthy, he might have been able to swing that out to 50 or 52 or 53. Sure, that's still way too young, but you're still doing your best to keep the reaper away for as long as possible. And that allows you to have a family, to see your kids through school, to set your family up with generational wealth, to coach football, to do all these great things. So I like those people like, well, we're going to die anyway. Yeah, but we don't want to die now, right? Like we want to, and we want our life to be awesome. Like I wish people who are out of shape could just spend one day in my body and understand how awesome my life is.
Yeah. Well,
it's like
especially people your age.
Yeah. It's like a fucking cheat code. Like I am just like, I wake up and I'm like, all right, I take a little time to get out of bed and then I'm going. And then at 9:30, I shut it down and I fall asleep like this. And I sleep sound through the night and I repeat. And that's how life should be. You shouldn't have those midday lulls. You shouldn't have any of that. You should be perfectly healthy. Your body should be able to take you. Your mind should be able to function all day. You should be able to crush it. But these people don't understand that your joints shouldn't be killing you all the time. I have a little bit of aches and pains because I train really hard, but
Right.
I can't imagine how bad someone who doesn't do what I do feels.
Right. I mean, when you look at how like the last 10 to 15 years go for a person that has any type of chronic illness, that has type 2 diabetes and or cardiovascular disease, which normally diabetes, these are all metabolic disorders, like all of them. They're all metabolic disorders. I even believe that cancer is being seen as a metabolic disorder for the most part right now. But the last 10 years of your life is fucking miserable, right? Like,
oh, terrible.
Absolutely horrific, right? To not be able to function how you want to, and then 9 times out of 10, the medications that they're put on are brutal too. Like you have a problem with your heart, they'll put you on a beta blocker. Welcome to suck life. Your life is.
You're going to be tired. You're going to be groggy, and it has it doesn't have some implications for increased risk of diabetes.
Yes, it does. And
so
I believe
it's whack-a-mole.
Studies for that. Yeah, if you look at the studies for that, it's because the person also loses the ability to get into like the fat burning zone. Like they literally, a lot of them, their heart rate can't get above 110, which I will point out is insane because then they overheat too. Because if your blood circulates more, you sweat more, you cool your body temperature down.
Yeah.
But they overheat. It's just this very weird thing where instead of us saying maybe you shouldn't eat this way to lower your weight down, it's now we're at this stage where everybody is so weak and so soft that, oh my God, you can't say that their heart disease is caused by them being fat. They were just born fat. Like, no, that's not how that works. But
yeah. Well, Katie was on them for a brief period of time before her heart operation.
Right.
And it was terrible. Like she would have to take 4 naps a day. It was horrible. Beta blockers are poison.
Yes,
they're poison. And then you have the other stuff they put you on. And statins make it where you can't move because of the myopathy, because of the muscle soreness. Right. It's absolutely out of this world that this is happening. But with that being said, it is Thursday, but next week is going to be banger after banger after banger after banger of awesome episodes. And those of you who aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/@eveningrants, youtube.com/@eveningrants. We're trying to ramp it up so we get monetized and we can actually make a little bit of money on this thing and get more people to watch it. Because once we're monetized, that means that we'll be thrown into that good old YouTube algorithm.
Right. And then next week, just so everybody knows, Monday is Jeff McCool from Moccasin Creek. That will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Tuesday is going to be Dr. Simon Goddick again, and he is going to talk about the Kresensteins, which is going to be awesome. And then Wednesday is Rachel Wilson, and I am trying to line up Alex Rosen again for Thursday, which would just make a crusher of a week,
Want to hear about inhumane shit that just happened? Yeah. My wife just mooned me through my office door.
That's awesome.
Like, that's just like, you kept your clothes on this time. You've done it before. You mooned me.
Too funny.
Well, the kids aren't home. Right. They're at school. All right. So we will see you guys next week.
And I will be live on the Alan Roberts channel in a couple hours. Check it out. And I will take us out with a little ad for Ambrosia Collective. By the way, go to ambrosiacollective.com. Use code Evening Rants for 10% off. I believe there will be a Labor Day sale, and I might even come on live.
Don't even do that. Just wait till tomorrow. Go to ambrosiacollective.com or tigerfitness.com. Both of us have huge sales. Huge sales at tigerfitness.com and ambrosiacollective.com. It's going to be beyond what the coupon code is, and you get free shit with it. You guys are going to love it. There's an exclusive bundle on Ambrosia. There's a free t-shirt on Tiger Fitness. My recommendation, buy your Ambrosia products from Ambrosia Collective. Get the free shit over there. Buy the bundle. Buy the rest of your shit from Tiger Fitness. Get the free t-shirt. Save a ton of money.
Hell yeah. And on that note, we shall exit out. Everybody have a great day.
Ladies, come here. If you want to burn body fat, not just a little bit, but a lot, I got the perfect stack for you. It's 3 products. Ember, which is a powerful thermogenic that you take in the morning, suppresses your appetite to a degree, and it raises your metabolic rate and have you burning calories all day long. Alchemy. What Alchemy is going to do is it allows you to eat those carbs in your meal guilt-free. It's going to take those carbs and burn it off as fuel, so you have plenty of energy throughout the day. Before you go to bed, you're going to take no morbidity. It's the best part of the stack because while you sleep, a deep, restful sleep, it's going to be burning calories, burning fat all night long. So you're going to wake up not feeling groggy, feeling refreshed, ready to go about your day. So we got you covered all day long. This is called the Holy Trinity Stack. And ladies, it's for y'all, for the queens.